Hi guys, this is Nana from Tech Testers, and today I'm going to review the Inno3D GeForce RTX 2080 ICHILL X3 Jekyll graphics card. Now this is an RTX 2080 that comes with a ton of RGB, a very long and interesting name, and probably the biggest box on an RTX 2080 we've seen so far. Now this card also offers a very interesting feature of coming with two different fan shrouds, so you can have a 2-fan or a 3-fan configuration depending on what you like, and it also comes with an OLED screen. Now this all sounds very interesting and very unique, but let's put it to the test and see if it's actually worth roughly 900 euros it costs. This video is brought to you by Cooler Master and their SL600M, which features beautiful sound-blasted aluminum, great airflow, a vertical GPU mounting option that actually works, and a very cool front panel that lights up when you're close by. Get yours using the links in the description below. If you put several RTX cards together, the ICHILL X3 Jekyll will definitely catch your eye. With a ton of aggressive elements both on the shroud side as well as on the backplate, the design of this card is very unique and something you will either really love or hate. One of the main features is an OLED display on the front that shows you the speed and temperatures of your GPU and memory as well as the fan speed. Now that is very useful information, just keep in mind that currently there is no way to customize the display. We see the typical 3 display ports together with a single HDMI and a Type-C port. And as with most RTX 2080 cards, you will need 2 8-pin power connectors on your power supply. The product name itself is of course a Jekyll Hy reference to the main trick this card has to offer: the option to swap between different fan layouts. Included with this card are both a 3-fan and a 2-fan accessory. The 2-fan option looks fairly typical with a bit of RGB, but it's the RGB crazy 3-fan part that draws most attention. Changing between the two is not actually hard to do, but it does involve 12 screws and a bit of effort aligning all the pins, so you'll probably just pick one and stick with it. From a performance test, we see this card overclocks itself very well right out of the box. It is not the coolest nor the quietest RTX 2080 we've tested, but it stays well away from the throttling temperatures. 39 to 40 decibels at 50 centimeters is definitely something you can hear, but should not be considered bothersome by most. If you're sensitive to sounds, this is not a card for you, but I personally tend to not worry about a couple of decibels if you are really attracted to the design. Still, we have to emphasize that this is not the most efficient cooler design, and we can see why when we look closely at the cooler design. It might look like a big 3-slot construction, but the actual heatsink underneath, which is what largely determines performance, isn't all that large at all and leaves a lot of space unused. There are plenty of RTX 2080 chip reviews out there by now, so I won't go too much into RTX 2080 chip performance. But while we are going through a couple of benchmarks, it is worth pointing out that at these high clock speeds, a card like this is quite a beast. It offers plenty of performance for those of you with a fast Quad HD monitor, and while an RTX 2080 Ti is obviously better, even a cheap 2080 Ti should cost a lot more than this one. If you're gaming on a 1080p, I'd say this is a bit of an overkill, and an RTX 2060 or an RTX 2070 would make more sense. Coming in at 890 euros in this region, this card is not that expensive for an RTX 2080. It is a bit more expensive than the budget options, but it offers more features. I don't quite understand what they actually wanted to achieve with the 2-fan configuration on this card, because it makes the card less efficient. It doesn't make it any smaller, so it's more compatible for different cases, and it still has the same OLED and RGB look as the 3-fan option. And I kind of expected a more alternative look, I suppose, making this card not so much Jekyll Hy as much as a Jekyll and Jekyll Lite, I suppose. Now, when you compare it to some other options that also have RGB, for example, Gigabyte Aorus Extreme or the MSI Gaming X Trio, they're just a bit more efficient for a smaller price, so it's objectively hard to recommend this card. It does offer an OLED feature, which is an added value, but still, missed opportunity because you cannot really control what's happening on that OLED screen. That being said, it is still an RTX 2080. It is a decent card. It's going to be fast enough, it's going to be efficient enough, it is going to be quiet enough for most of you out there, which is okay. It is just not exceptional, and I really wish they did more with those focus points they wanted for this card. Now, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this review and this card. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one. Bye!